We are in Romans 11, verse 11, where it says, through their fall, through Israel's fall, salvation, actually it says, is coming. It's a permanent process. Salvation comes to the Gentiles, to the non-Jewish people. And I want to show that this is a red thread, an ongoing theme throughout the Bible. And I picked out the gospel according to Matthew. If you look at Matthew chapter 1, the verses 1 through 17, there Yeshua is portrayed as the king that has come exclusively to Israel. Now you have to understand that if a king is for one nation, another nation cannot simply come and say, oh, you have the solution for my problems. Look, it's similar if I, as a German, would have a problem and I would go and say, but the president of the United States is much more powerful, much wiser than the German chancellor, so I go to him. The American president will tell me, listen, you have a German passport, you are German, I'm not responsible for you. I'm responsible for the Americans, not for you. And we have to understand that being the king of Israel means that he is not the king of the Romans. He is not the king of the Greeks. He is not the king of the Persians or of some African tribes. He's the king of Israel. And therefore, Yeshua, Jesus, actually, when he sent out his disciples, he instructed them, do not go the path of the Gentiles. Enter no town of the Samaritans. They were very close by, just neighbors. You could see them. You could throw stones at them, or they threw stones on the Jewish people. But do not go there. Rather go exclusively to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. This is an ongoing theme in the Gospel of Matthew. I want to take you to one of it's for me heartbreaking stories, exciting stories in Matthew 15, where Yeshua actually was in the area of what we would call today Lebanon, the district of Tyre and Sidon. And it says then, behold, a Canaanite woman from that region came, and she was crying out, have mercy on me, O Lord, Son of David. She knew exactly who he was. And by saying Son of David, well, she knew that he was the one who was responsible for this heritage. And he had the power and authority, but he was the king of Israel. And then she comes and she knew it's a mother who is desperate, knowing that my daughter, she says, is severely oppressed by a demon. And you have the solution. She was right. Just imagine. A lot of people did not understand. She understood. Now, how did Jesus react to her? He reacted to her like any Orthodox Jew should react if a non-Jewish lady addresses him. By the way, I always tell that my Christian sisters from the nations, if an Orthodox Jew does not react the way Jesus reacted to this Canaanite woman, he is not kosher. Just remember that. It says here in the Gospel of Matthew, he did not answer a word. He just ignored her. And then his disciples come and beg him and say, Lord, send her away, for she's crying after us. She's bothering us. And he answered, I was sent only to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. But then she came and knelt before him, saying, Lord, help me. And then Yeshua is even more harsh. He tells her that she is a dog. If Yeshua would have done this to me, I tell you, I would have given him a lecture. that you cannot call a Gentile a dog. This lady, she's a model to me. She says, yes, Lord. And then she says, yes, but yet even the dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table. And Yeshua answered her, O woman, great is your faith. The amazing story here is that she finally, in the end, gets what she wants, but it's absolutely not natural. Now the question is, and I want you to read the Gospel of Mark. The question is, what happened that at the end of the Gospel, Yeshua suddenly commissions his disciples and say, therefore go make disciples all Gentile nations. What happened in between? What changed? It is Israel's fall, and we have that in Matthew 23, where Yeshua sits weeping on the Mount of Olives, looking at Jerusalem and say, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, who kills the prophets, who stones those who are sent to it, how often did I try to gather your children as a hen gathers her chickens under her wings, but you refused me. You were not willing. And that's the reason why Jesus suddenly was free to tell his disciples, now go, the time has come, go to the Gentile nations, preach it to the non-Jews.